guys, Stella here. Welcome back to Gypsy Rose Papery. So today I have a journal flip through, and this journal is for Shaban. And so she wanted the 9x6 hardcover, and she wanted like a Green Witch type grimoire. And she had other specific things that she wanted in here in relation to her spiritual practice. So I hope I captured everything. So the front, it's a stag, and this is fabric. And then I did like a little paper collage back here, die cut some leaf trim, and then here I enclosed 2 pressed flowers inside this really pretty Tim Holtz metal piece. And she chose the fabric, and I actually, my own personal junk journal is in this fabric. I just scrunched this up a lot more because I wanted it to have kind of like that forest type vibe, sort of like that naturey vibe. So it's got a lot of like wax, different colored waxes on there. And then in here, this is a little pocket, and the pocket actually ends right about here because I needed to glue the whole bottom part of this paper down to support this metal piece because it's, you know, a lot heavier, and so I didn't want it to rip the paper. So it's a little short tag, and I did like a collage with different kinds of stickers, and then she can write something on the back there. And then we can kind of just jump right in here. So the beginning of it looks like this, and there are a lot of different type of fabrics as tabs and charms on every single piece of fabric. I have a little spell bottle here, and you can actually open it if you wanted to put something in there. And then I had this little mushroom, and I kind of MacGyvered a loop on there so I could hang it. So here in the front, I have several pieces of ephemera. And primarily in here, I used that Green Witch paper pad by Michaels this year. And the paper in here, oh my gosh, it's just so flippin' beautiful. I can't even take it. I got super lucky because they don't carry these in my stores. I had to buy it online. Here I took a vintage book page, and usually I leave them intact, but I thought it'd be fun if I made a little envelope, which she can seal and use as an envelope, or she can write on this. I made a bunch of these sort of half paper, half acetate, I almost said cellophane, half acetate tags, and some of them have like wildflower die cuts, and then others will have actual pressed flowers. So that's that. And then I have just a digital page that I cut down like to a tag. I put some trim there, a little bit of coffee dyed paper ruffle, and this goes in here. And I kind of maneuvered this acetate pocket to fit more things. I just kind of sewed it a little bit looser on the backing so you could fit a lot more things in here. So that goes in there. And this is that Green Witch paper. And I also found these herbal printables, and I will link them in the description box, as well as any other digital that I use in here. This is just a collage tag that I made. I sprayed it down, and then I stamped on there. And these were part of some Happy Mail that I had gotten a while ago. I want to say this was Shayna, but I can't remember 100%. So if that's wrong, I'm really, really sorry. And then here's one of the tags, and this is actual pressed flowers there. And the back looks like that. And all the paper, rather all the digitals are printed on that really thick paper. I did a lot of sewing detail in here as per my usual. And then here I have this tag, and I sprayed it down, and then I stamped in metallic ink like a leaf print, sort of like a fossil almost. And then another one of those coffee dyed tags, and this piece that I had left over, and it was just so pretty I didn't want it to go to waste, so we included that in there. I did a lot of stenciling and spraying in here, and I really like the way the spraying came out. And here we have a tag, and then another one of those metallic leaf prints. A little guest check that is coffee dyed. And then I have a glassine envelope, and I never think to use the ephemera that's included with the paper pads. I don't know why, because I guess I grab my paper first before I do anything with the book. Then I kind of just forget, but this time I remembered, and so all the ephemera that was in the paper pad I tried to include in here, except for like some pieces that were really super wide and wouldn't fit in this book. And here we have just a tag with some stamping, a little coffee dyed journaling card. This is from the paper pad. It says "Come gather for a spell," really pretty. And then another one of those pressed flower tags. Love this paper so much. And then in between here, the fabric that I use, because the paper sort of has bite. I call it bite because even though there's a lot of nature in the paper pad, there's also a lot of like skulls and like maybe like darker imagery. So the fabric I use for the spine has some skulls and some reds, and so I thought it fit really well with this theme. And I really love this image. I just did a little glassine ruffle there. And just like all my other books, this book has the 5 signatures and a total of 120 writing sides. A little card, a leaf print, a journaling card, and one of the pressed flower cards. And then here we have a tuck spot and a really pretty stamp. This one says "A spell, if you please," so you could use it to write spells on here, and another collage tag. I'm so glad that I was able to get this paper. I was so jealous because I saw all the hauls online of everyone who was able to find it at their stores, and I literally went to my Michael's, and actually I have 2 by where I live. I actually went to 2 of them almost weekly, I want to say, and never ever did the Halloween stuff show up. They did have some of the Tim Holtz stuff, but by the time I got there it was really picked over. And that's another metallic leaf print. And I had already gotten my Tim Holtz stuff because scrapbook.com was gracious enough to text me when it was launched. So that's a pro tip for you, you know, paper crafters. If you're wanting to know when things launch, scrapbook.com honestly has a really great selection, and they will text you now if you put your number in, and they will notify you when they have their stuff launched, like Tim Holtz stuff, or like I think the Christmas stuff may have already launched. I'm not really crazy about the Christmas stuff as much as the Halloween stuff. I feel like the Christmas stuff is a lot easier to get your hands on. Here, this was a really huge tag like this, and it wouldn't fit anywhere, so I ended up having to fold it, but you can definitely use it like a bookmark. But it has pressed flowers on the bottom and then some at the top. And then in here I have another little piece. I didn't want it to go to waste, so I included it in here, and another one of those journaling tags. So just put that all together like this. And this is a glassine, coffee dyed glassine bag that I sewed in. Really pretty image from that paper pad. More stenciling, spraying, and then this one flips out. And let's see if I can see that. Yeah, this one flips out, and then there's a little tuck spot here, and I put a die cut. And all the scrapbook paper is coffee dyed except for like the ephemera like this. So lots of writing space. And this is meant to be her grimoire, so I wanted to be respectful about how much I decorated in here. Although I have to say that usually I don't have a set formula for how I make books, but when it comes to filling them up and knowing when they're ready, it just feels ready. I can't really explain it more than that. And this one kept nagging me. This one was like, ma'am, I'm not done yet. So I kept like messing around with stuff, spraying, more sewing, more ephemera, tabs, different charms, just to see like if I got that feeling. And then finally I messaged her. I'm like, I think I'm done. I'm finally done. So this is just a really big piece of really good cardstock that's coffee dyed, and I stamped on either side. But you have to be careful too, because sometimes, you know, your gut's like, oh, I'm not done. And then before you know it, you have alligator mouth, and I'm not really a fan of that whole alligator mouth look. Certainly if I filled it in with my own stuff, but if it's a new journal, I just think it's hard to add anything really into it unless you're buying it for the look of it, and then, you know, I'm perfectly fine with alligator mouth. But if it's something I'm going to be writing in, then I really want it to not be too overstuffed, because then where's the space for me? Oh, I forgot to show you. This was an herbal quarterly magazine that I found about 2 summers ago. So they have them at like the pharmacy, or probably like at your Barnes and Nobles or at bookshop or something like that. But if you can get your hands on it, it has some pretty cool images. And that's it. And this right here, this personifies like what I love in general about everything, this paper. And then back here we have another book page envelope that she can seal, and opened up, it looks like that. And then we have another tag, and then I made this tag with a full sheet of, like, it was a journaling page that I printed on cardstock. And then I had this little scrap of fabric, which I thought was too cute to do anything with except leave the image as well as is. And then some coffee dyed glossine. And I didn't fully sew it down in case you wanted to write and then hide it. And then I did some sewing detail all around. So that goes in there. And this goes in here. And you know, I have a weird kind of OCD thing about how I like to have things arranged. That's just how my brain works. Can't do nothing about it. But yeah, that is all. That is the end of this beautiful forest type grimoire. Shaban, I really hope you love it. As always, you know, I have fun with all my books. All my books are special to me, and I put a lot of love and care into each one, and I hope that shows through when you guys get them. And yeah, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are literally the best. I can't say it enough. I love you so much, and I will see you on the next one.